then I'll be going to the next topic, network models. So under this network models, we will see about first construction of networks. Okay, so construction of network. We can also say that it is with arrow diagram. Then we will see the methods related to project scheduling and management. So in that, two algorithms we will discuss. One is called CPM. So it is called as critical path method, and next one it is called PERT. So that is program evaluation and review technique. Okay, then we will discuss about the another network model called as, okay, so to determine the shortest distance, okay, shortest distance between various nodes. Okay, so that is called, yeah, shortest distance between various nodes. Okay, in that two option will be there. One is with all node connection with all nodes. Then there is an algorithm will be there called minimal spanning tree. Minimal spanning tree algorithm, and between your start node and end node, so that is called shortest path algorithm. Okay, so these four are the major things what we will see over here, two related to your project management, then with respect to the start and end nodes, and with all the nodes we'll see about this four algorithms in detail in this network mode. So I'll give you some more objectives for you to understand it. Okay, so the problem is to design of offshore natural gas pipelines to an inshore delivery point. So what can be the objective in this case? So offshore natural gas pipeline means there will be multiple ports will be there, and all the ports you have to connect it to the delivery point. Okay. So always the objective is to minimize the cost of construction line. Okay. Objective will be to minimize the cost of construction line. So if that is the case, you can apply the algorithm like minimal spanning tree. So minimal spanning tree will try to connect all nodes in a shortest distance so that your total cost for the project is minimum. Okay, so next it is shortest route. This is already I told you. Shortest route between two cities. Between two cities in a network of road. Okay. The objective is you have a start point, you have an end point. The start and end are connected by using various roads and various routes. So which is the shortest route between your start point and your end point? So that is the objective. So here all the nodes has to connect. Here only first and last node you need to. So in that case, you can go for shortest path algorithm. Okay. So a third problem what I can give is that minimum cost flow schedule. Minimum cost flow schedule from oil field to refineries. Okay, so your objective is to cost should be minimum. Okay, so how it is connected to refineries? Through a pipeline network. Again, it is a through a pipeline network. So the algorithm you can use is minimum cost capacited algorithm. Okay, then you will have determination of time schedule. Determination of time schedule for your project. Okay, so you can go for CPM or PERT. Then there's another algorithm is the called maximum flow algorithm. Okay, so these all algorithms are part of network model. Okay, so many algorithms like this are also the maximum flow algorithm is there. Likewise, some algorithms are also there. So these all are parts of network models. So here, everything, whatever you want to draw or whatever you want to solve, it has to be connect as a connect like a network. Then only it is possible to solve in the case of network models. Okay, so every activity. Okay, so as I told you, in the case of a network or a project, so each and every term we will be subdividing or reducing it in terms of activity. So activity, okay, so will be so a circle you have to represent to determine the start and end. Okay, so this is event I. So I'll mark this as I. So this is event I and this is event J. So between I to J, you will start an activity. Okay, so activity will be defined based on its duration. Okay, so between event I and event J, you will be defining the activity. So each activity is defined based on its duration. So I in this case, since the arrow is pointing like this, I will be your starting event. Okay, I will be your starting event, or it is also called as tail, or it is called as preceding. Okay, so the J is called as the end or completion. Okay, since it is heading to that side, this is called as head, and this is called succeeding. So every network diagram, okay, you can see it will be further simplified with the help of these kinds of activity. So activity is drawn between your start event and your end event. And an arrow will be used to point it out. So since an arrow is used, if we see the international authored books, you can see that it is also will be called as arrow diagram. And try to connect these arrows, okay, these arrows as possibly these lines as straight lines, okay, and certain things also you have to avoid that I will tell you. Okay, now in some cases these event again are of two types. So this is a particular event in which multiple activities are merging together. Okay, this is an event I where this is an activity, this is an activity, this is an another activity. So this is called merge event where multiple activities are merging over here. Sometimes again the event I can be of like this. From one activity, multiple activities are starting. So this is called as burst event. Okay, burst event. And activity itself, either you will represent as a straight line like this, okay, straight line like this, having an arrow like this, okay, with end you will have circles represented as this. So this is and another way also you will represent, that is with the help of dotted lines, okay, with the help of dotted line. So if it is marking with the help of dotted line, that is called dummy activity. Okay, dummy activity always duration will be equal to 0. Okay, always duration will be equal to 0. Such activities are called as dummy activities, and you will be representing it by using the dotted lines. Okay, so I'll just give you an example. Okay, so you will be able to understand it easily or little more. Okay, so it may be a process such as molding. So okay, so I'll come to it. So there is a need of a machine installation. Okay, there is a need of a machine installation. So the start of machine installation, that is the event, that is your start event, and your completion of machine installation, that is the J event, that is a completion or head or succeeding event, and machine installation is your activity. Okay, so installation is the activity, okay, which is been starting between your event I and J. At event I, the activity will start, event J, the activity will be completed. So between I to J, the activities are defined based on its duration. Okay, so this is how the activities are being marked. So it will be represented in two ways. One as a thick line, so that is the actual activity. Then with the help of dotted line, that is called dummy activity. Okay. So I just told you that is succeeding and preceding also it will be there. So I'll just give you, I will just try to start to convert or to draw one network diagram so that you can able to understand what it is a little more easily. Yeah. So this is a typical data given to you. Okay. So construct a network diagram or arrow diagram. Yeah. So how to process? So activities are given. A, B, C, D is given. Okay. And activity A and B does not have any pre-operation. And activity C is having a pre-operation of A. D is having a pre-operation of B. E is having a pre-operation of C, comma D. And post operation if we see, post operation of C is A, D it is B, C and D it is E, and E does not have any post operation. So what all information easily you can able to get it from this table of data. So you can see to that A and B does not have any pre-operation, which means that both are basically start activity. Okay, both are basically starting activity, which you can start from a single node. And activity E, that will be your end or your last activity. That is, as I told you in the previous case, events like merge or burst you can take over here. Okay, so in the first case, A and B are the start activity. Since both are starting, so from one single node, so node number 1, okay, node number 1, so 1 is called as the node, okay, is called as a node 1. So from node 1, both the activity A and B are starting. Okay, so this is my activity A and this is my activity B. Okay, so this is activity A and this is activity B. So between 1 to 2 node, I have marked activity A, and between 1 to 3 node, I have marked activity B. So A, B are the start activity. Now what is the next activity? Now what is the next activity? Activity C. Okay. Activity C. Activity C is what is the pre-operation of activity C? So activity C is having a pre-operation of A. So we can see, and post-operation of C is A. So that is activity C can be started only after the completion of activity A. Whereas activity A and B are simultaneous activity which you can start concurrently, or there are ways other that we will discuss it later, that how to start early, how to start late. These all options are there that we will discuss it later. So now you can see the as per the given condition, A, B are the start activity. If I want to start activity C, activity A has to complete. So from the termination of node number 2 or termination of activity A, I can start the next activity called as activity C. So this is 3. Okay, and activity, so that is activity C, right? So after completion of A, I will start C, or if I want to start C, I need to finish activity A. So the next activity is D. Okay. D is what situation? D. Yeah. So for starting the D, I need to finish B. Okay. For starting the activity D, I need to finish B. That is, after finishing B, yeah. So between node 3. So basically this should be node 4. Sorry. So that is node 4. So I'll mark this as node 5 for activity D. Okay. That is activity A and B are starting parallelly, which does not have any pre-operation. C is having a pre-operation of A, I marked here. D is having a pre-operation of B, so that is also marked here. Okay. Now what's the next activity after D? E. E is having a pre-operation of C, D. So how to draw it? So how to draw it? So there are two options are available. One, since I drawn it like this, you can connect 4 to 5 using a dummy activity. So this is called the dummy activity. And from node number 5, you can connect the node number 6 for activity E. Okay, so this is one option. Next option is that, okay, so this is also correct. So next option I am drawing here. So my starting is node 1, then I am going to node 2. I had a node 3 over here. I'll just join over here to node 4. Then I will have node 5. So 1 to 2 is A, 1 to 3 is B, so 3 to 4 is D, 2 to 4 is C, and 4 to 5 is E. So this is my activity A. This is my activity B. This is my activity C. This is my activity D. This is my activity E. So this is also correct. This is also correct. Here this added activity, that is dummy. Okay. And the duration will be 0. So if I write A over here, normally in the bracket, I will write the duration of the activity also. So by this way, any of the previous problem, any of the previous method, if you want to apply in the network model, you have to make a network like this, or you have to draw a network like this initially. After constructing the network only, you will be able to apply any kind of algorithms to it. Okay, after constructing the networks only, any sort of algorithms if you want to add, you can add only after constructing this network diagram. So once the network diagram is connected, it may be cost, it may be distance, it may be time, anything you can plot it over there and you can get the solutions. We were discussing about the network models in the last class. So the various types of algorithm I have given you an introduction, and a small problem how to construct a network that we have seen in the last class. So we'll see some of the ways in which we can construct the networks. and then we will proceed. We'll proceed with the problems. Then we will move into the critical path computations. So this is a typical problem given to you. So serial number is given, activity is given, pre-operation is given, and post-operation is also given. So in order to avoid the confusion, the post-operation I have not mentioned. Try to deal with pre-operations itself. Yeah. So here you can see the activity is last problem when we have solved. We have defined the activities as A, B, C, D like that. Here instead of that, the connectivity nodes are given and its pre-operation is also given. So if you want, I can give the post-operation also, but in order to avoid the confusions, I have not put the post-operations. So let us see how to solve this problem. Okay, so the first activity, so from the given data, so from the given data, you can see to that the first activity 1 to 2, second activity 1 to 4, third activity 1 to 3 does not have any pre-operation. If it does not have any pre-operation, it means that okay, they all are the starting activity. Okay, they all are the starting activity. Okay, they does not have any pre-operation, and you can see from one node all the three activity will start, and node number 1. Okay, so node number 1 will be burst activity. Okay, will be burst activity, and you can see 2 to 4, 2 to 5 has predecessor, 3 to 6 has predecessor, then all other have plenty of pre-operations are shown over there, and finally 6 to 7 is the last activity that is shown over there. So let us see. So I'll start with node number 1. So node number 1. From node number 1, you will have activity 1 to 2. You will have activity 1 to 2. You will have activity 1 to 3. You will have activity 1 to 4. So this is 2, this is 3, and this is 4. So that is marked. Now what is the next activity given? Next activity is given 2 to 4 and 2 to 5. Okay. Next activity is given 2 to 4 and 2 to 5, which is having a predecessor or pre-operation of 1 to 2. That is, if I want to start 2 to 4 or 2 to 5, operation 1 to 2 has to be finished. So 2 to 4 in the sense means already 2 and 4 nodes are there. That's why I have not written here 3. I just kept 3 because I just want to avoid the confusion. Since there are terms called as looping, dangling, all those things has to be avoided when I construct a network diagram to the maximum. So 2 to 4 I have joined. So 2 to 4 activity is connected. Now I'll have activity 2 to 5. So that is activity 2 to 5. Yeah. Now what is the next activity? So the next activity is given 3 to 6. Okay, 3 to 6, which is having a predecessor relation, which is having a predecessor of 1 to 3. So 1 to 3 is there. So from there I can connect the activity 3 to 6. So that is nodal number 6. Okay. So 3 to activity, if I check 3 to 6 after completing 1 to 3 activity, then only the activity 3 to 6 can be started. Now what is the next activity? Next activity is 4 to 6. Okay, 4 to 6. So which all activities are required to complete? If I want to complete 4 to 6, I need to complete 1 to 4. Yeah, so 1 to 4 it is there. I am connecting from 4 to 6 as the activity. Yeah, let us see. So 4 to 6, it is connected. So its predecessor relation, if we check, it is 1 to 4. Yeah, so that is connected. Then it is 2 to 4. Yeah, 2 to 4 is also connected. So that's also a predecessor. Now next activity is 1 to 3. Yeah, 1 to 3. Is 1 to 3 a predecessor right now of 4 to 6? Is 1 to 3 a predecessor of activity 4 to 6 right now? No, that's not a predecessor. And there is no activity of 3 to 4 is not shown anywhere under the activity list. So 3 to 4 you have to connect it as a dummy activity. Okay, so that basically a dummy activity. So we'll mark it as D1, dummy. Yeah, now what is the case? Now 1 to 3 is also a predecessor of 4 to 6. So if it is dummy means that there is no activity duration. Then we will have 1 to 2, 1 to 3. So all these things are satisfied right now. Yeah, that's good. Now we'll move to the next activity. Next activity is 5 to 6. So activity is already given. So node is already given. So I'm just joining it. It is 5 to 6. So activity 5 to 6, what are the predecessor given? Predecessor is given as 2 to 5 and 1 to 2. Yeah, 1 to 2 and 2 to 5. Then only activity 5 to 6 can start. So we have completed it. Now there is an activity called 5 to 7. Yeah. So how to proceed? 5 to 7. And 5 to 7 is having a predecessor of 2 to 5 and 1 to 2. So 1 to 2 is a, 2 to 5 is a, there will be a new activity that is called 5 to 7. That is node number 7. So 1 to 2, 2 to 5, then 5 to 7. Yeah. What is the next activity? It is 6 to 7. Okay. So that is 6 to 7. So 6 and 7 I need to connect. And if we see 6 to 7, 3 to 6. Yeah. So 3 to 6, 4 to 6 and 5 to 6 are the predecessors for the activity 6 to 7. Okay, now you can see the node number 6. Node number 6 is basically, that's a merge activity. Activity number 1 is a burst activity. So the nodal informations are connected. So in the normal case, this will have a duration. This activity will have a duration. Okay, so this will have duration. Same way, this will also have duration. This also will have some duration. This also, this also, this also, this also, this and this. So except the dummy, so dummy will have a duration always equals to 0. Okay, duration of dummy will be always equals to 0. So this always you need to keep into the mind. So this is how we will normally construct the network, or normally we will construct the arrow diagram. Okay, so based on however it is giving, we are moving in the forward direction. So first three are the starting activity. Node number 1 is basically a burst node, and node number 7 is the last node of your project. You can see to that activity 1 to 2, activity 1 to 4, activity 1 to 3 can start simultaneously, and based on its duration you can able to finish it early or you can finish it late. Activity 2 to 5, if you want to start, you have to finish activity 1 to 2. If you want to start activity 4 to 6, you need to finish activity 1, 2, 4 and 1 and 4 and 1 and 3. Then only the activity 4 can be started. Okay. If you want activity 6 to 7 to be started, you have to finish the activity 5 to 6, 2 to 5 and 1 to 2 or 1 to 4, 4 to 6, similarly 1 to 3 and 3 to 6. If these are completed, then only activity 6 to 7 can be started. So so the relations we are getting it like this. Some activities can start parallelly. Okay, some activities requires a predecessor. So you have to see the predecessor relation and accordingly you have to allot the timings. Okay, so this is how we will construct a network diagram. Okay, so construct a network diagram. Or arrow diagram. This is how we will proceed. I hope the idea is clear. I hope the idea is clear. I'll solve one more problem for you to understand. So here also post operation I am not giving. Though I have the data, I don't want to avoid the confusion, so I'm not giving it. So what all informations you can get it from here? So you can see A, B and C doesn't have any pre-operation. It means that they all can start. They all can start parallelly from a single node. Parallelly from a single node. Okay, and activity G, you can see plenty of activities has to complete for activity G to start, and final activity will be H. So H will be your last activity. Okay, so we'll see. I'll just mark the first node number 1. So from node number 1, we'll have 3 activities. Activity A, activity B and activity C. Okay, so 1 to 2. This is 2. This is 3. This is 4. So 1 to 2 I'll take it as A. 1 to 3 I'll take it as B. 1 to 4 I will take it as C. Yeah, okay. Now what is the next activity? So next activity is given as D. So D is having a predecessor of A. So from 1 to 2, I have to connect for the activity number D. So next node value is 5. I'll mark here as 5. So I'll put the arrow here. So that particular activity is D, which is having a predecessor of A. Yeah. Now what is the next activity? Next activity is E. E is having a predecessor of, okay, so from C, I can join node number as 6, activity E. Yeah, and after node number E, I have node number F. Okay, so F is also having a predecessor of A. Okay, F is also having a predecessor of A. Okay, so I'll say that it is, yeah, let it be like that. So it is node number 7 and it is F. Okay, and for node number G, what is the status? Node number G, which all activities has to complete? Activity A has to complete. Okay, activity B has to complete. Activity C has to complete. Activity D has to complete. And activity E has to complete. Yeah. So I can connect. So now I need to reorient this entire diagram. Okay, since G is going to be a merge activity with various activities are together, and I don't want all the nodes to be kept like that. So what I can do is that I can keep one as it is, 1 to 2, yeah, and this is, I'll modify this as 3, this as 4. Okay, I'll come to it. This is my activity A. This is my activity C. This is my activity B. Okay, then this will be my activity D, and this will be my activity E, and yeah, this will be my activity F. So this is A activity. This is my activity A. This is my activity B. This is my activity C. This is my activity D. This is my activity E. This is my activity F. Okay. Now G, I will start from node number 4. Okay, I'll start from node number 4. To start G, A has to finish, B has to finish, C has to finish, D has to finish, and E has to finish. From node number 4, the next activity, so that is 4 to 5. Activity is G. So you can see A, B, C, D, E. So A, B, C, D and E is merged into the activity G. Yeah, now what is the last activity H? So activity H is from where? From C. So this is the endpoint of C. So from the activity H is also there. So I am connecting the activity H also to the same last node. Okay, now you can see activity F is not connected anywhere. It is just going away from F. So you should not keep any activity like this. This is basically wrong. Okay, Now this is not connected to any node. So you have to connect the F to your final nodes, or else you have to keep a node over here and connect. So node number 6 and connect it as dummy to here. Either like that or connect from 2 to 5 as F. That is, you should not keep any nodes open like this. All the open nodes you have to connect it to the last node or the nearest node by using dummy, or draw in such a way that the F is going to close this loop. That is, I don't need basically to draw it like this. I can keep the things like this. Okay, so that is basically node F. So that is, now these all are open nodes. So that if I kept anything open like this on a network separately without any connections, okay, like this, okay, so this is called dangling. This is called dangling and it should be avoided. Okay, it should be avoided. Okay, and another thing is that is called looping. Yeah. So looping is something, but I had node 1, I had node 2, I had node 3, and I had node 4. So I connected from 1 to 2, 2 to 3, okay, 1 to 4, and then 3 to 4. Okay, this is called looping. Okay, so this also should be avoided. That is, looping and dangling should be avoided. Okay, so if anything is like this is there, either use a dummy, okay, connect it to your last node like that. So that's the way dangling can be avoided. Looping, just keep this 4 in a slightly higher place so that this loop will not get formed. Everything will move in the forward direction. So that you have to take in your mind when you are solving any kind of problems. I hope you can see a problem 6.5.1 on the screen. Yeah, so can you just construct the network diagram? The problem is all about in publishing a book. So you can see the activities, the name of the activities are given. Manuscript proofreading by editor, sample pages preparation, book cover design, then artwork preparation, author's approval of edited manuscript and sample pages, book formatting, author's review of formatted pages, author's review of artwork, production of printing plates, book production and binding. So these are the activities given over there. Okay, so we'll try to construct first the network diagram. So I will be starting with node number 1. Node number 1. Okay, so node number 1 to 2. Node number 1 to 3. Node number 1 to, okay, sorry. So I had so this is 2, 3, 4 and 5. So first I'll mark this as activity A, this as activity B, this as activity C, this as activity. Yeah. Now what's the status is? Next activity is E. E requires the completion of activity A and B. So I'll connect it by using a dummy D1, and from A I am writing E. Okay, let us see how it will go. So this is node number 6. Activity is E. Yeah. Then F activity will follows. F will follow E. So node number 7, it is F. Okay, and G follows F. This is node number 8. This is G. And next is sorry G follows F is written. Next is activity H. H follows D. So this is activity H. Then I follows G and H. Okay, I follows G and H. So this H, what I can do is that, yeah, now this H, what I can do is that, so I can connect it like this. Okay, and that activity becomes H. So G and H, I will have I. So I, sorry, this is 8, 9. So this will become as 9. This will become activity I. Now what is the condition? Activity. Next activity is J follows C and I. So how to connect? So now in that case, what I have to do is that, yeah. Now previously I given C and D. Now I'll connect this as D and this as C. So from D, it is H. So G and H follows I. Now J follows C and I. Okay. So this is node number 10. So what I can do is that I can connect with a dummy from C to I. Okay, like this as dummy 2, dummy 2, or what I can do is that I can connect this node 5 directly into node 9. Okay, that is also correct. That is this 5, instead of marking this 5, I can directly connect that to node 9. Okay, so that is also correct. So don't write activity name. Don't write activity name inside the nodes. Okay, don't write activity names inside the nodes. Nodes are different. Nodes are, this is a starting node and end node for activity A, which is defined based on a duration. So the duration of A is given as 3. So that we will write it inside the bracket. So A is having a duration of 3, B is having a duration of 2, C is having a duration of 4, D is having a duration of 3. Okay, E is having a duration of 2. F is having a duration of 4. F is having a duration of 4. G is having a duration of 2. H is having a duration of 1. I is having a duration of 2. And last 9 to 10 was activity J. I forgot to write it. So that is activity J. So activity J, the duration is 4. Yeah. Now let us see how to calculate the project duration in a simple manner. Then I'll teach you how to calculate that with the help of the CPM PERT calculations. So activity 1, as like we have seen in the simulation, etc. Whenever the first job enters into the system, that time only the clock will start. So this will be at time 0. Now, when it is time 0, activity A will complete at 0 plus 3, that is at the end of 3 weeks. Okay, and activity B will be finishing at the end of 0 plus 2, that is 2 weeks. Activity D will be finishing at the duration of 0 plus 3, that is 3 weeks. And activity C will be finishing at 0 plus 4 at 4th week. Yeah. Now I'll move to the next activity. Now you can see over here at node number 2, basically 2 activities are merging that to start activity E. You have to please be careful over here when you are connecting like this. The node 2 will have a value of larger between these two. If this is supposed to be 4, then here you have to write it as 4. That is, job number E can start only after 4th week. The start activity of start node of activity A is 0, N node is 3. Okay, suppose if this is 4, here this will come as 4, here also this will come as 4. Why? Because when you connect it like that, activity E can start only after activity B is over. So the largest duration you have to write it over here. Okay, right. Now we'll see the next. So E will be 3 plus 2. That is 5. Here it will be 5 plus 4. That is 9. Yeah, we'll wait. So this is 3. So 3 plus 1. Okay. So 3 plus 1 is 4. Here this is 9 plus 2 equals 11. So which value you will write here? You have options here of 4 and you have option 2 number 11. So when you have two options like that, the largest one you have to write. So that will be 11. So again 11 plus 1, 12. 11 plus 1 equals 12. Here this is dummy, but it is having a duration of 4 plus 0, that is 4. So the largest among 4 and 12. So that value is 12. So 12 I'll write here. So this will be 12 plus 4, that is 16. So here you can see to that the total project duration, will be 16 weeks. Okay, the total project duration will be 16 weeks. Okay, so the maximum path in which the project follows, that is called, that path we use to calculate the project duration. Okay, so 16 weeks is the maximum duration in which this project is going to complete, and the path at which this project is following, that is called critical path. So how to calculate the critical path? Now I have calculated that only in the forward node as for you to understand it. Now we have to see it in the reverse path also. So using that information, we can calculate the project duration, the path which is critical, the activities that are critical, and which activities will have slacks. That things we can able to calculate by solving a network model like this. So the duration we will be calculating it like this.